What is the difference between consultation and concurrence? Is it same? Constitution says that the president shall appoint, means government shall appoint the judges of the Supreme Court and High Court in consultation with the Chief Justice. And for the High Court, the Chief Justice of the High Court. Now, when the collegium system was introduced, which is alien to Indian Constitution, but government of that day and now also, we very well respect the collegium system until or unless it is replaced by a better system. I'm not going to get into the debate and discussion of what that system should be, but that require a better platform or better situation. What I'm saying is, as long as the collegium system is prevailing, I have to respect the system. But if you expect the government should merely sign the name to be appointed as a judge, just because it is recommended by the collegium, what is the role of government then? What does the word due diligence mean? Because the Supreme Court in its order itself has said that government has to do due diligence. The government has all the apparatus and mechanism to find out the background, the status of particular person. Because a person who is to be appointed as a judge of High Court, High Courts or Supreme Court, or any lower judiciary, he should be qualified, good enough. But I don't want to criticize the collegium just because I don't like it. But I just want to point out that there are loopholes, there are things, people are now raising voices that this system is not transparent, bit of opacity is there, and also there is no accountability. So government is doing certain things which government is expected to do. So never say that government is sitting on the files. Then don't send the files to the government. You appoint yourself, you run the show then. So the system doesn't function. Government and judiciary, the executive and judiciary will have to work together. Together we are serving the nation. There's no question of any tough war. There's no question of any fight for supremacy. It's a question of service to the nation. I am bound by the provisions of the Constitution of India. If anything is alien to Constitution of India or the provisions laid in the Constitution of India, this is bound to raise questions. And as a law and justice minister, I don't disrespect any system which is in place, but I will always strive for a better system which can replace the system which is considered not perfect.
Well, you can see from the response of the public that it has been very well put. I need not say it. But, Mr. Rijiju, you respect the collegium system. Unfortunately, there is always a controversy that happens around the appointments of the collegium system. Now, even today as we talk, there is an incident in the Gujarat High Court about which you have commented yourself. I am taking you there. You have said that if these kind of instances happen, what will happen of the institution? And such instances should not happen. Now, collegium says that we did not recommend the transfer of the said judge, but the transfer still happened.
Now, this is a bit a sensitive matter. Let me be very careful in what I say.
Yes. You are a fine lawyer. You are a lawyer by education, Mr. Rijiju, so you...
No, what I stated was in front of Chief Justice was with me when I made this statement. I find collegium system not perfect, okay, but I have to honor it. The collegium system appoints the judges and also recommends judges for transfer and posting. Of course, appointment is finally done by the government.
Right.
So appointment and transfer of judges. Now, on what basis a judge is transferred from this high court to that high court, I'm not going into the details. But what I'm saying is, fundamental issue, suppose if a judge is transferred from Andhra Pradesh High Court to Rajasthan High Court, and if the lawyers of one of the high courts protest against this decision of the collegium and shut down the court, then tomorrow for another judge there will be another protest. Now, if there is no mechanism or measures to handle this kind of situation, then in the future, this will be a recurring instances where a judge cannot be touched. Because simply if a judge is transferred, there will be certainly a group of lawyers who will be supporting a particular judge. Then there will be counter agitation, there will be some reaction, and there will be some more criticism. So that is why I said, in a way, I protected the collegium by saying that if every decision is protested in this manner, then it might lead to a difficult situation in the future. So these are larger questions. I am not saying that this judgment or this particular transfer case is right or wrong, but I am saying that system should not be such that which will be very, very open to criticism or which is prone to the scrutiny of the people. I don't want the judges to be abused in social media or in public forum. Judiciary is well respected. They must be protected. It is my duty, government's responsibility, more so because I am the Minister for Law and Justice. I have a bounded duty. But if a judge involved in some kind of conduct or some kind of commentary which wrongly, touches the sentiment of the people, then we have to think that whether the judge or his judgment has crossed that Lakshman Rekha where it should not have gone. You have entered into some uncharted territory, thereby inviting criticism. That is why one must be careful. That is why I said, I also need to be careful. Everybody has to be careful.
Now, my last question before I let you go, Mr. Rijiju, I know you are running late, is the fact that you said about the commentary, and you made a comment that judges must pronounce judgments. They must not make public commentary on the proceedings. As on today, Supreme Court is asking a very interesting question. It is asking that, how did the law minister choose the name of an election commissioner? That is a question that is being asked in the Supreme Court.
Then people will ask that how did this collegium selected a particular person to be appointed as a judge? This question will lead to, difficult situations. So that is why I said, the old wisdom, a judge must speak from his judgment. Now you media people also will report if a judge makes certain commentary during the hearing, you will report that as headline. Whereas that reported observation is not part of the judgment. But the message is gone. And the people will say that, oh, why the Supreme Court has said like that, whereas it is not the order. So I cannot tell how judges should behave. But the convention says that a judge must speak from his judgment. Or through his judgment.
Through his judgment. As always, very well spoken, Mr. Rijiju. As always, thank you very much for taking time out to come to Times Now Summit. And we are absolutely delighted to have you, as always.
Thank you very much. It's my privilege to be invited.